crypto market in this weird phase where good news is basically treated like bad news. I know that sounds backwards, but stick with me. Major announcement drops, everyone's already lined up to complain about it. Big development happens, yeah, but it's not good enough. It's exhausting. Take what happened with the XRPTFs launching. You've got people everywhere going, price didn't shoot to the moon immediately, therefore it's trash, therefore we were lied to, therefore everything's broken. Hang tight, because I'm about to show you why that's actually ridiculous. What I need you to understand is the reality of this situation, not the Twitter panic version, the actual reality. Are these ETFs really bombing, or is something else going on? Let's dig in. This weekend, Eric Balcones came out with something that got my attention pretty fast. Bullish SEC may fast-track crypto ETFs, and XRP could be next. SEC's new guidance lets issuers accelerate filings delayed by the power, with Bitwise's XRP ETF potentially next, says analyst Eric Balcones. I'm holding off on my full breakdown of this until later because there's a Bitwise situation developing that I think you need to see. It's pretty compelling stuff. Coin Bureau put this out there, and from where I'm sitting, yeah, they're reading this situation correctly. ETF announcements are flooding in like crazy right now, especially after we finally got past that shutdown drama. Alright, so Canary ETF, yeah, we're going there again. Look, I get it, this name keeps coming up in every single video lately. Hold up, let me pull this data back up because I need to show you what's really going on and walk you through these updated numbers. So by the time the closing bell rang today, we saw over 843,000 shares move. What does that translate to in dollar terms? About $19 million, actually crossing just above that $19 million mark. While the entire market's getting hammered, that's actually incredibly bullish when you think about it. What the data's showing us with this XRP ETF is crystal clear. Buyers are stepping up. Serious buying interest is happening here. By every standard measure, this ETF launch has absolutely delivered. And I've been hammering this point home that this ETF launch has absolutely delivered. But check this out, because XRP's trading price went down, suddenly the narrative flips to this thing's a complete disaster. Crypto exchanges are dangerous. Being huge doesn't protect you either. Take Bybit, they're the fourth biggest exchange measured by trading volume. And back in February, they got absolutely destroyed, and what became one of crypto's worst security breaches ever. How much disappeared? A staggering $1.4 billion, just gone. Look at any ranking of the 10 most catastrophic crypto hacks in existence, and what jumps out? The biggest exchanges fill up most of those slots. So here's what I keep asking myself. If we're not using cold storage devices, where exactly should our crypto live? XRP Arthur just dropped this bombshell. Breaking a new filing from CBOE just confirmed the approval and listing of the Amplify XRP 3% monthly premium income ETF under the Exchange Act of 1934. Things just got serious. This literally came through yesterday, people. Look at what's written here. To whom it may concern, CBOE BZX Exchange Inc. KID certifies its approval for listing and registration of the Amplify XRP 3% monthly premium income ETF under the Exchange Act of 1934. Okay, so ETF approvals are coming in hot right now, the floodgates are opening, and this pattern is screaming opportunity. Let me bring this image back into focus. What's kicking off this week? Well, the heavyweight stepping up first is Franklin Templeton. That green light hits today. Franklin Templeton sits on $1.5 trillion in assets under management. The window runs from November 14th to the 18th. And that 18th date, that's the hard stop. Tomorrow, everything gets decided. We're expecting that ETF approval to drop tomorrow. Here's what has me fired up though. Bitwise, they've got until the 19th, a Wednesday deadline. Let me break this down for you. Bitwise isn't playing small ball here. They're steering $5 billion in assets. That absolutely crushes. Canary's numbers, the one I broke down for you yesterday. Then out of nowhere, Bitwise throws this curveball on Twitter. You will not believe what I just heard. Alright, what's going on here? Total silence from them after that tweet. That's where they left it, posted roughly 5 hours ago. This video won't go up for a while, so that timeline keeps stretching, but my brain keeps circling back to one question. What are they actually referring to? What could they possibly be teasing? Setting aside the basic stuff, so Bitwise is staring down the 19th as their deadline. And we've already heard that the SEC may fast-track crypto ETFs and XRP could be next. That puts Bitwise basically at the front of the queue, probably just after Franklin Templeton. Now here's where it gets interesting. What if approvals start rolling out this week? Just think about it. Bitwise gets the nod. Franklin Templeton gets the nod. All in the same handful of days. And don't forget, we've got the 20th coming up on Saturday, with 21 shares waiting in the wings. This could turn into an absolute avalanche of ETF approvals. Oh, and by the way, another one literally just cleared. and it's launching tomorrow. Yep, it's already through. We could be watching 3, possibly 4 separate XRP ETFs all across the finish line in 1 week. That's absolutely nuts. Let me take you back to that list real quick. Because when you're talking about Franklin Templeton sitting on $1.5 trillion under management, that's not small potatoes. That's enormous. So Canary's not exactly a titan in this industry. I've been hammering this point repeatedly, but they still managed to bring in close to $300 million across 3 days. Keep that figure in your head as Franklin Templeton gets ready for tomorrow. Hold on, tomorrow's already here. We literally just got a fresh update on the Franklin Templeton ETF. Chad Stingraber dropped this post. His words, "I got chills and they're multiplying." Listen to this. Franklin Templeton versus Canary funds. The launch of Franklin Templeton's xrp ETF is dramatically reshaping the XRP derivatives market landscape. As a reminder, Canary Funds launched its XRPC last week, with a trading volume of 58 million on the first day. Analysts anticipate that Franklin Templeton could smash this figure with volumes ranging between 150 and 250 million from the first trading session. Canary pulled 58 million, so analysts are calling for Franklin Templeton to land anywhere from 150 to 250 million. This difference stems from Franklin Templeton's institutional firepower. The asset manager controls over 1,500 times the assets under management of Canary Funds and maintains an extensive network of financial advisors, wealth management platforms, and pension funds. These institutional clients are precisely seeking this type of investment vehicle: integration into existing brokerage accounts, simplified taxation, and no need to manage crypto wallets or exchange accounts. The structuring of the xrp responds exactly to the needs of traditional investors who want XRP exposure without the technical complexity of self-custody. This approach should channel significant flows into the product, especially if initial volumes confirm market interest. This is a really big deal. I've already talked about this. Yes, the size of their assets matters, but here's what's really got my attention: the entire ecosystem of relationships Franklin Templeton has built around them. Behind Franklin Templeton sits this entire web of support. Think financial advisors spread across the country, wealth management systems, pension funds, plus all those institutional clients they serve. That's the moment it hits you. That's when the scale of what XRP could achieve with institutional backing becomes crystal clear. This could reshape everything. So let's shift gears to Bitwise. Hang on, let me step back here. They're up next, and they've been dropping clues about their plans. Assets under management, around $5 billion. Is that miles ahead of Canary Capital? Not necessarily. But check this out. The difference matters. You're looking at somewhere between 10 to 11 times what Canary Capital handles. And the key point, Bitwise has already built serious credibility in the crypto world. XRP ETFs could start popping up everywhere soon. We've got one in the books already, and it performed decently, though you'll hear people trash it purely because of price charts. That logic doesn't track for me. What we should actually focus on is how well this smaller fund did during its debut. Then stack that against what these industry giants are preparing to drop. What keeps me thinking though, we haven't watched any of these ETFs run during momentum yet. Everything's happened while markets have been chopping downwards. Sentiment's been rough. Switch that to bullish conditions, to actual demand flowing in, and the performance could look completely different. Alright, that's it from me today. If this breakdown helped, throw a like on it, subscribe to the channel, bell icon, so you stay in the loop with everything coming up. Really appreciate you tuning in. See you in the next video.